For autistic adults in Ontario, turning 18 means losing important supports and services. This gap in services leads to increased social isolation, a sense of boredom and frustration, and the loss of important skills and confidence. We need a solution to this problem that is empowering, engaging, and innovative. The Autism Arts Collective is a social innovation project that aims to help autistic adults build community and find their creative voice. Our mission is to empower autistic adults to cultivate artistic expression, engage in community life, and positively impact public perceptions. We plan to build our program from the ground up in 2 phases. In Phase 1, we start with small community-based art groups. These art groups will take place in community centers across Toronto, welcoming autistic adults of all abilities. They will be led by community artists, supported by occupational therapists and social workers. We plan to work alongside a clothing company to give our members the opportunity to print their designs on t-shirts and tote bags. We'll then create a website to sell those designs to the public, building awareness of the creative abilities of our members and returning 70% of the profits directly to the artists. Our goals for the first phase are to reduce social isolation and build social skills, empower adults with autism to recognize their unique talents, and demonstrate and celebrate the capacities of adults with autism through the widespread sale of their artistic creations. In Phase 2, we aim to expand our reach in 3 major ways. We want to open our own space to host workshops, create our own company to produce our merchandise, and be able to sell diverse forms of art online. Having our own space will allow us to create a comfortable environment for artistic development and collaboration, host community events like classes and art shows, and rent studio space to community artists as an additional source of revenue. We will create our own facilities to produce merchandise, using silk screening to create our t-shirts and tote bags. This will enable us to create meaningful job opportunities for autistic adults in a space that can be supportive and teach valuable employment skills. Our goals for Phase 2 are to create a safe community space for adults with autism, create meaningful employment opportunities through our merchandise production, and expand our advocacy campaign across the province. In order to accomplish both our small-scale and large-scale goals, we'll need to work closely with strong community partners. We intend to work alongside autism advocacy organizations and disabled artist collectives in order to prioritize the lived experience of those we serve and to guide us in our development process. In addition, we will need structural support from both nonprofits and for-profits in the community in order to help us design art classes, obtain affordable materials, and print our initial run of merchandise. Beyond partnerships, we'll need to obtain funding, both for our Phase 1 startup and our Phase 2 expansion and growth. In Phase 1, initial funds will help us buy art supplies, create a commercial website, and compensate members and facilitators for their travel costs to and from the workshops. In Phase 2, we'll need greater capital to obtain a market rental space and purchase machines and materials to produce merchandise. We will apply for a number of relevant grant opportunities, including the Ontario Arts Council's Deaf and Disability Arts Projects grant and 2 grants from the Ontario Trillium Fund that help projects in their starting phases. We intend for this project to disrupt many of the systems that typically take over for autistic adults after 18, including the mental health system, long-term care facilities, temporary employment supports, and the institution of social work. Instead, we want to support autistic adults by building a supportive community, creating a safe space where all are accepted, developing meaningful jobs and economic opportunities, and empowering them to express themselves and demonstrate their talents. For more information about our project, visit us online at autismartscollective.org.